Alright, welcome to Cover Slaves, the show we play Warhammer 30k and not 40k, because 30k. Yeah. Tonight with us we have Chimera, Jeremy, and Matt Stricken, and of course Clarence and myself.
Yeah.
We're doing some prep for a tournament. We got Sons of Horus fighting, this may shock you, Sons of Horus.
Yeah.
So, they're fighting over Horus's love. The winner will be embraced by him to his bosom. So Clarence, any other info? Something?
Yeah, we have Fear the Flanks.
Logan's gonna throw it.
Yeah. Fear the Flanks, you can charge when you walk on from reserve, no deep striking, and you pick warlord traits, so better watch that and not ask that in the comments.
For all you fast-forwarding motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll be back with armies and terrain and stuff. Yeah.
My tournament, 2,000 points, Sons of Horus. It's being led by Loken, who's using the Pride of Legion today, and my warlord trait will be Voidwalker. I have a 5-man veteran squad here, bare bones, a 10-man squad here with 2 plasma guns, Artificer Armor Power Axe Sergeant, and a Power Sword. I have another 8-man veteran tactical squad with a Artificer Armor Power Fist Sergeant, 2 Power Swords, Apothecary with a scanner. This Rhino is dedicated transport for that. 5 Terminators, 2 Combi Plasma, 1 Combi Blaster, Power Axe, 2 Chain Fist, Power Fist. The Sergeant has Lightning Claw. My Drop Pod, 2 Speeders, 1 and 2, that both have multi-meltas, 2 Hunter Killer Missiles, and Twin-Linked Cyclone Missile Launchers. My Sikaran Battle Tank with Las Cannon Sponsons. And my Fire Raptor with Reaper Battery, and that is 2,000 points.
My 2K Sons of Horus. So my Warlord is my Praetor here. He's got Tenacity, Feel No Pain. He has the Sons of Horus Relic, which is the Cataphracti Primus armor, which gives him Eternal Warrior and +1 toughness when being shot. And he has Chain Fist, Combi, Melta. I've got the Librarian there who has Telepathy. I rolled the worst powers possible, but he's Mastery level 2. He's got... Nope, no Melta Bombs. Master of Signal does have Melta Bombs. He's just a stock Master of Signal. And then I've got my 8 Cataphracti here, 6 Power Fists, 2 Chain Fists. They do not have, obviously. They're all initiative 1, so that he doesn't need that. Then I've got the 2 Blobs are identical. With the Apothecaries, it's 15 per blob. I've got the Artificer Armor, Melta Bombs, Power Swords on each Sergeant, and the Vexillas in each unit. I've got my Contemptor here with Plasma Blast Gun in the Fist and the Kyries Assault Cannon, and then a dual autocannon Mortis Dreadnought, just standard Dreadnought, and the Spartan, which has a Dozer Blade, Armored Ceramite, and Flare Shield. And that is 2K.
Sons of Horus deployment. I have my 5-man veteran squad here. I gave them Fearless for this game. My Sikaran is here, just out of sight. My other 10-man squad of veterans with the plasma guns is in this Rhino here. They will have Sniper for this game. And my Mortis is checking out the containers here. And that is my deployment. My reserves are next. Reserves, my Fire Raptor will be regular flying reserves. My Drop Pod will be coming in deep striking. My Javelin here will also deep strike. My second Javelin will outflank. My 10-man or my 8-man veterans HQ and Apothecary are in the Dreadclaw. And these Terminators, due to my Warlord trait of Voidwalker, will deep strike. And that's my reserves.
Okay, deployment. So I've got the 1 blob in here with the Master of the Signal. I've got 1 blob over here. My Terminator's Librarian, Praetor are in here. And then I've got my Contemptor and Mortis in there. No reserves. That's all. Pretty simple. End of turn 1, very, very short. There was very little movement. This just jinked this way. He moved that way. He stayed put, went into his helical array mode. I moved this guy up because I deployed him improperly. He was out of line of sight, so I wanted to actually modify his barrage with the weapon skill, so he came up. And one of these could see. He passed his cover save for a glance. One of these could see, and it failed to pen his dread. And I'm basically just staying put because his reserves are coming in and I want to be able to... Well, I'm sitting on 3 objectives, so... Come at me.
Yeah, this is the end of the other Sons of Horus turn 1. My 5-man veteran squad just moved up to secure this objective. I don't expect them to do much for the rest of the game. Moved my Sikaran over here. I took a pot shot at his Contemptor Dreadnought. Managed to take 1 hull point off. My Dreadclaw came down here. It was a little bit off by 7 inches, so that might affect me later, but we'll see. I took my Rhino here, disembarked my guys. I did make a mistake of forgetting that I can't flat out my Rhino after disembarking, so that might come and bite me. And my Contemptor shot into the Spartan and was almost close to doing a hull point, but afraid not. And that's the end of Other Sons of Horus turn 1.
Top of 2. So I shifted around a bit. I moved my Spartan up, disembarked my guys. That was a bit for move. This guy moved. The only shooting, he was out of range because he can't move or pivot or anything. He shot at the pod, but it jinked. I only did one glance, I think, maybe a pen. This shot his dreadnought, took it down to 1 hull point, which wasn't enough. So I shot my Master of Ordnance at the Rhino and the dreadnought, but he only got 1 blast template, and he passed his invul save, unfortunately, so that dreadnought's alive. I stunned the Rhino, and that was it. That's all. Oh, I failed my assault. I tried to assault the dreadnought and the Rhino, but I failed an 8-inch charge, which isn't surprising. And that's it. So we've got reserves coming in now, so we'll see. Could be in trouble.
Sons of Horus turn 2. Most of my reserves came on, so we'll start over here. My Terminators deep struck perfectly. They shot into the Terminators here. They killed 1, maybe 2. I moved up my veteran squad here, unloaded with rapid fire. I took 2 wounds off of his general here, and also killed about another 2 Terminators from that. My Mortis as well shot into the Terminators, however didn't cause any damage. Over here, my Javelin outflanked on the side I wanted. I fired my Hell Strikes and my Cyclone, and I was able to take out his Contemptor Mortis. I also brought this one in and was able to take out the last hull point to that, although I can't remember where I did the other ones from. Oh, the Sakaran. That's right.
Last turn.
The Sakaran last turn took off a couple hull points there. Sakaran fired into the tactical squad there, killed 3 Marines, so it wasn't enough to cause a leadership check, but that's all for that. And my Dreadclaw moved up 12 inches, and that is the end of Other Sons of Horus turn 2.
Top of 3. I got a bit more luck this turn. So what did I do? I shot these guys down to 3. I failed to hit with my Psychic Shriek. It went off, but then I rolled a 1 to shoot, which was unfortunate. I Furied them with these guys, and I killed 2 of the 3. The passive leadership. Over here, I shot the Heavy Bolter at this thing, nothing. I shot the last cannons at this thing. I think I did a hull point? Yeah. I penetrated it, but I think I might have... Oh, I immobilized it. And then this squad then multi-assaulted in here, wrecked this thing, and did another hull point on this. And then over here, I split off my Praetor, and he shot him with his multi-melta, and in case that failed, he was going to assault, but he managed to kill it with multi-melta. And over here, I had a glorious assault against the veterans. The Librarian managed to kill 4 guys out of the 10 with his attacks. And then they just swept the rest, and I lost no one. I think you did 1 wound with your power axe in the challenge with my sergeant, but I passed my invul save. So they swept them, consolidated back a bit, and that's it. Yeah, a bit of luck, but we'll see what happens.
And Other Sons of Horus turn 3. I moved my Rhino just in here to block the objective for maybe a turn if I get lucky. My Sakaran moved back here. I passed my dangerous terrain test. I fired into the tactical squad up there. A whole bunch of Wrens. Took about 4 guys out of it. I used Loken and his veteran squad to charge into the tactical squad. I won combat, but was unable to sweep him. I lost 1 guy in return for 6. And my Terminators charge into the Spartan and failed to do jack with a chain fist. Melee this turn for me was not good at all.
You also killed my Master of Sigma.
Oh yeah, I did kill the Master of Sigma with the Javelin and multi-meltas into the back unit.
It's like a 100-point character. That's not bad.
They made it points back. And that's the other turn of Other Sons of Horus, turn 3.
Top of 4 is done. I've managed to bring it back a little bit. I've been quite lucky so far. I don't think my shooting accomplished much, so I managed to assault and clear out the last of his not just Darren regular Terminators. Over here, I moved my squad towards the skimmer. I failed my assault, but a crack grenade actually stunned it, so it can't move and it snap fires. This came over. These guys rallied because they escaped that combat, luckily, and shot in. But he passed. He failed 2 armor, but then passed 2 feel no pain. And then I don't think you. No, you lost 1 guy for my Spartan shooting. So I basically got I've got 3 units plus the Spartan, so that's good. But we're really fighting for a tie on primary at this point because I'm not going to be able to take his back objective. He's got what's his face in here? Loken with like a power fist, artificer. Like this squad's still strong, unless he's exceptionally unlucky on his turn, which could happen. This squad's probably going to go down. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But I hope Psychic Shriek can help me in the last game turn and bring those guys down.
The end of Sons of Horus turn 4. Fire Raptor finally came on. Shot into the tactical squad there, killed 2 or 3 guys. Shot into the other squad in the building, didn't kill anything. Javelin shot into the tactical squad in the building. Since it was snap shooting, it didn't do anything. Sakaran shot into tactical squad, killed some more guys. Quite a few feel no pains were made that time. Loken and company charged into the remaining tactical guys. As you can see, they're gone. Loken did a challenge, was declined, and murdered pretty much everybody but 1 guy. Power Fist guy just finished him off. So still a lot of work to do. Bad melee for me. He's really made me have to play on the back foot, but we'll see what turn 5 brings for the other Sons of Horus.
It was the top of 5. I almost pulled it off. I just got these units here. This backed up, and then everything went into here. My Psychic Shriek went off. Did 2 wounds, but he passed 1, feel no pain. Oh, these guys are dead. And it came down to these 4 last cannon shots hitting and wounding, but he was able to do a bit of shenanigans here because these guys are fearless. So he had an apothecary. Loken was back here. His apothecary lookout sword onto Loken, who failed and died. And then the apothecary died, but because he was able to do that shenanigan, that left this guy who is fearless and scoring left. And then Loken came back with his special ability. So if he had failed those 2 4+ lookout sirs, or he had failed if 1 feel no pain, it would just be Loken left alive who doesn't score, and I would definitely have it. But as it is, we're going into the bottom of 5. I positioned myself so his land speeder here can't contest my 2. But he's just going to walk up onto this and be like, okay, good. And then maybe you can make this unit run away or something, or them, but barring that, it'll basically be a tie for primary. So, yeah, that's 30k for you.
That's the end of other Sons of Horus turn 5 and the end of the game. What happened is I moved my Rhino just over here, and then I flat out tank shocked, killed the Chain Fist guy. I did take a hull point in return, but it was stunned. So I was contesting this objective. My Fire Raptor fired into the squad after going into hover mode, killed the Warlord, so that was good. My Sakaran shot into the Terminators. I killed, I think, 1. Nothing big. My Veteran and Loken claimed the objective there, so they secured that. And my Javelin moved into within 3 to contest this objective, killed a Marine or 2, and that is the end of the game, other than my lonely veterans just claiming that objective. So the end of the score was 9-0 for the other Sons of Horus. Very close game.
I always knew Sons of Horus were going to win.
Yeah, very close at the end. So stay tuned for the post-game show.
Welcome to the post-game show. You totally just watched Sons of Horus fight Sons of Horus for a full half hour, didn't fast
The
forward.
Sons of Horus victory.
You're good people. So we'll get right down to it with Jeremy. Give me your MVP.
Definitely my librarian.
Yeah.
Who managed to kill. He has a Force staff, but he managed to kill 2 Terminators.
That's incredible.
At least 4 veterans in power armor, and then he made at the end of the game 3 6+ go to ground saves to try to keep the Warlord alive. And then the Warlord rolled out like a 1 on 2 dice.
Biomancy.
Yeah.
What was your epic fail though?
Well, biggest fail, obviously, I don't know the 30k rules.
But you do now.
I didn't realize that any unit can contest.
Yeah.
Because in 40k, obviously, like
Everything
objective
scores,
secured
yeah.
trumps anything else.
Yeah.
But in this, only scoring holds, but anything can contest, so it's a lot more punishing. And I thought I'd kept enough guys around that objective there because of that skimmer, but apparently I hadn't. He found a way in. And then the tank shock there was a bit of a fail, but I had 2 hull points, so that's always a gamble.
And those were both close. Like that was like a you know an inch difference could have meant everything. So.
Oh yeah, it came down to it. But I would have put a bigger bubble around that back objective.
Yeah, I could see that.
And had I known the Rhino, because the whole time I'm like, oh, it's the Rhino, it doesn't matter. I would have sent my Lord singly off to take out that Rhino with his chain fist.
In most occurrences, it doesn't
And then-
matter, but this is that one. It's that one thing it can do to fuck you, like that one annoying like tank shot.
And then maybe try to forge ahead to pressure his and draw fire for a turn from his.
And that
he
was
would
so
have
close
he would
there.
have died, but it maybe could have saved me a turn of shooting from the Sakaran.
The Loken thing could have gone either way.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I almost got that last unit. Still, you would have contested both mine with your
Yeah.
units, and you still would have held it because of this one. But yeah, so everybody better be aware of that because I
Yeah.
certainly wasn't.
It's definitely
I
good.
played 30k before, but we must be playing it wrong, or it just didn't come up.
It's all like the Tempest.
So-
It was in Conquest and Tempest when they really implemented the very rigid scoring rules.
Yes.
So if you don't have them, it's a lot easier to miss compared to if you have like Betrayal or like Massacre or...
The weakness of 30k is there's a lot of books, and there's
Yeah.
some are more relevant than others. And, you know.
Definitely acquire Tempest and like the 2 red
Because there's
books.
Ultramarines in it.
No, just for the scoring rules. Really.
It doesn't help. There's no digital, right? So if you don't own the book and you've found it other ways, that's good. But you can't always find the ones you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking book 6.
Take your $170.
So that's something you might want to send a PM or something to everybody just to be like, okay, guys, here are the things you really need to know.
We're
if
gonna
it
try and
hasn't
get
come up.
we're gonna try and get everyone to get at least one practice game in with us if they're available. If not, we're definitely gonna ask a few key questions in PMs to see if they're you know if they're getting any practice games or if it's their first time. Stricken MVP.
Probably my Javelin that outflanked.
Flunked.
Hey, it stood there. He
To
couldn't
be
shoot
grenade
it.
and kept on kicking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
contested in the
it
end.
contested in the end. Or Loken getting back up. I know it's 2+, but
Yeah. That apothecary making the 4+
yeah,
officer,
that was
good.
nice too.
that saved that unit over there.
It's like both getting up and getting down.
The beginning of the game was great because my dice were normal. And then turn 3 on, it was 1s and 2s. I couldn't make an armor save.
Quote,
Saved my life.
to quote some people on the internet, never rubber ducky, man. Like,
So, yeah, that it. You know, I still pulled out mainly just because of opponents' misunderstanding. Unlike Deep Striking Terminator's not doing anything.
But Jeremy won't make that mistake twice. He's learned. I can tell.
Yeah.
No, and I would have left my Spartan contesting that objective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
down to one
Exactly.
guy with 1 health.
Yeah.
yeah, probably would have won it.
And then I would have contested that. And if
I
I
didn't
could
even
have,
think of
if
that.
I could have held one of those two, it would have been a tie.
Yeah, the
I
flat
thought
out
it was a
tank
tie.
shock.
That's the
like,
sign of a good game, though. You can see just a few little things, like those few little rolls that are key going differently.
Yeah,
Because it really could have been close. Like that was.
it was almost a tie.
I thought you had it, or at least it
If
was a
Jeremy
close game,
did-
and then like that last turn was
If
surprising.
Jeremy had like been in the know with
Yeah, exactly.
the contest and the proper bubble wrap, he would have won it.
Yeah.
It still would have been 6. No,
He would have gotten 2, denying 1, and you would have had 1, even with say first
Okay,
blood
yes,
and
the
line
secondaries
break,
would have-
first
It,
blood
it
and
could have also
warlord.
been a tie though, because you got all 3 secondary. If you could have still killed my
He
warlord.
didn't have Linebreaker. Linebreaker
Oh.
is specific to scoring units, and javelins don't score because they're not
That's it,
troops in
yeah.
30k.
Yeah.
But
So-
that one dude left.
Oh, was
Yeah.
he in 12?
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so even say
Was he in 12 though? The objective was,
Oh, yeah.
it was more than 12.
no, he's saying for that one because
Yeah,
he had the
the
one
one
veteran.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was 6. No, it was 6.
Yeah.
It was 6.
Even if he had killed your warlord, which who knows how you would have done it if you're like truly in the know, it would have been a tie. Best case for Matt.
Yeah, it was very nearly a tie.
Yeah. A big part of that again was my rolls went bad.
You're fucking
Bad.
Mine,
awful. Fucking awful.
mine started out bad and got better towards the end.
You're feeling
A lot of
people.
sixes towards the end.
I flopped, which usually happens over the course of 5 or 6 turns.
Not that much. 3
A lot
turns
kinda
and
comes
nothing.
out.
Your feel no pains were really bad at the start.
The
But
library.
Matt's
Frozen syringes.
Matt's melee was like truly the worst I have
Matt
ever
had
seen.
melee?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. That was the joke. The like Loken veteran squad couldn't do shit.
With
Not
football bat.
Not even that. The veteran squad that got completely wiped by the Terminators and didn't do squat.
That's fucking great.
From Gandalf the White, smacking
You've
everything.
got 900 point squad, just like throttling.
Yeah,
That's
so
a big
I expected to be able to kill them because they're just power armor. Like,
Yeah,
you got a couple Terminators survive and you just take them out.
If you don't got AP,
The big loss was when I rolled a 6 and you rolled a 1 to sweep that unit there, and then I just fell back a bit.
Well, it was like the one total wound off of his like all of his attacks on the charge, and you're like, I passed it.
Did your relic come into play at all? The Eternal Warrior.
I failed every single Feel No Pain. I was going to go to list changes. I'm definitely going to draw. I'm going to take a different Warlord trait because the Feel No Pain just isn't good enough.
The reserve one's nice, but you don't have reserves mostly, right?
Should I keep
Conqueror.
Conqueror's
the armor that he has? It's 50 points for that suit of armor, Eternal Warrior.
If he's gonna be with them,
I think I will.
Tank, it's huge. Like
I think I will because
strength 10 or something. Like hold on.
That
I plan to split him off alone and then go after something.
or Void Shield
that
or
could
the
keep him
3+ info from shooting, because Void Shield, even though we've changed it because the rules are complicated how they're currently written.
We changed the base.
Even if you like, regardless how you're using it, if your dude's out in front, all the Void Shield hits are like being taken on him. So that means no strength.
If you're
6.
tanking, you're tanking.
Yeah, right. Like it stops anything that's not strength 6 to start with.
Bolt or repellent.
That's 40 points, eh?
Yeah,
It's good value.
Because I'm going to drop the Master of Signal. He just isn't good enough for 100 points.
yeah, not in your list.
So
exactly.
I could definitely put
Javelins all day, baby.
I could definitely put the Void Shield on him, and then alone he's like toughness 5 when you're shooting him.
Yeah.
He's Eternal Warrior, and he's got this Void Shield. It could explode, but it's only strength 5, AP
6.
4 or something.
It's 6. It doesn't cut through your
But it's
armor.
AP 4.
The flexibility too, right? Because depending on who you're playing, you might go, I'm gonna put him with these guys. They need to hold, like at least you can move them around as an IC.
Yeah.
So it's good flexibility wise. I like the Eternal Warrior, but I do see the point difference. Being,
Yeah.
10 points ain't terrible.
So another change, I don't know. I didn't use my dreadnoughts very well this game.
I killed him.
I didn't position them well. I didn't target well. I held them back, but then they were exposed.
It's tough when they're not combating, right? Because you think like, oh, I'm gonna charge. Wait, no, I don't have the attacks. Like it's hard
Well,
to say.
I wanted to shoot, but I should have just hit him in the ruin, the Contemptor especially, because my design with him is to hold him back, even if he's not shooting for 2 or 3 turns. But then when those Terminators get in range or Loken gets in range,
That's when the red.
that's when he comes out and ties them up.
Yeah.
That's what he's there for. Like I have my Blob and my Contemptor, and that they're supposed to hold the backfield. Then he can support either squad.
Hopefully the Mortis will get a couple
So I
points
just need to protect him better. And the Mortis.
He's pretty good at cheap anti-flyer in 30k, because generally, unless you have like an Aegis with the gun, it's pretty much the cheapest way you can get anti-flyer.
Yeah.
Everything else is like a lightning is more than the like one whatever. It's like what 140.
They end up being 200 points when you give them missiles and stuff.
Xiphon's 200 base. Contemptor Mortis is like 185 with the best build.
Why the extra 5 points?
180, whatever. Still more.
I just built one.
And it adds medium power fire to my list.
Yeah.
I just need to protect them more turn 1. Put them in a ruin or something.
Even having them walk on isn't terrible.
I was thinking that.
Because although you're like, I would say 9% of the time you won't charge, if it's also the time where like, oh, I've killed 80% of this, but I have to tie it down, you can still do the fear of the flanks.
Does your rule allow you to assault when you come on your board edge?
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
because I wish
It's just
that
not
should be a
deep
normal
strike.
rule.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree
not
there.
necessarily outflank, but walking on your
Yeah.
own board edge, things should be able to assault.
I agree
You're coming from your
completely.
DZ.
You're risking them like showing up super late just for the chance of it. So I mean,
Because if your Terminators walk on, they were right here. And they walk on, they're like, oh, we can't attack this unit that's right here. No,
yeah.
it's kind of lame.
Did we get your epic fail? I know we got our MVP.
Oh, epic fail would have been the veterans who did
Okay, yeah,
jack.
that makes
Like,
They got librarianed.
yeah,
They
they
did.
They didn't have their library card.
They were
What
brutal.
about the librarian? Should I drop him? I don't have a lot of extra units.
Maybe if you change it to biomancy or divination.
Different power.
Do what I'm doing and just make him the nanite guy who teleports around because that guy's awesome for 180 points.
Well, Jeremy's would be cheaper if you did.
Yeah, you don't
I
have to make
I
it
could
expensive.
teleport him around and then just psychic shriek.
Yeah,
That would be annoying.
You could. It's
Like,
40 points for phase walker, and it's like there's no math to it. It's just the more things you pass through, the more dangerous it is. But like the odds of
then you
failing
can move
with 2+.
anywhere, right? So
Yeah.
if I was here, I could be like zip, marrow, like I go.
Last term
forward.
contesting with it's really strong because it's just like, oh, is that a spot there? Nothing they can do
Yeah,
except for intercept bullshit. But
but we'll see.
By that point in the game, you should be like able to like put enough dents.
yeah, I mean it's something too where if you save it for last turn, it's an expensive character you're not using all game, so it's.
I could put my pod back in.
The pod was strong, man. Because if I was just frankly, if I was playing you and you throw a pod in my face, even if it does nothing, even if it kills no one, it's still gonna distract
your
me.
armor. I could have taken out the rhino.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll drop the master of signal, put the pod back in, put the contemptor in it.
Can't wait to get one of those.
Although
They're fun.
I know.
I do like the contempt for backfield defense, but
The thing is, you don't have to put him in it, but you probably will.
I
Those
think
games,
you do.
right? You have to.
In the rule, it says if you buy it, you have to.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
I think
30K
even
is
that
more
makes
than-
sense. That makes sense.
I think any dedicated pod, you have to put them in. I think that's.
I think it's
It could be 30K
I think
though,
it's part of
that's-
drop pod assault for 30K health.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They also handle it more fluffy. Like generally, without Charybdises, you have to take all.
But I
pods.
could drop him in my backfield, and if I have extra points, I could put my backpack thingies. The Vox is
Yeah.
back in,
Yeah.
and then I can be like, oh, well, I need defense. Well, boom, you're right on the board edge within 6. Now he's helping out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
shooting out of the thing,
Especially
and
if
then
it's
gets out
a-
in assaults.
None
Backfield
of it.
squad, that's
So
not
he
getting
can-
shot at much.
He can support, and that gives me a lot of flexibility. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'd start Warlord trait because it'll kind of dictate what you do with everything else. If you're buffing stuff.
I think Conquer Cities would be a really
It's
good
strong.
one.
It's strong.
Yeah.
But there's shit people aren't thinking of too, right? There's stuff that's less direct that could be sneaky.
Is that, but like target priority kind of dictates where your guy has to go, or like
Yeah.
anything that's like the 12-inch bubble. It's really like your guy's gonna be either around the shooting units or the assault units. Conquer Cities is really good because spoilers, we're having a lot of ruins, so we're gonna have a lot
Spoiler
of those. Move through cover is really good on vehicles if we have like something like that, because they just can plow over it.
The 30 traits aren't terrible though. There's some nice ones. There's one where you can redeploy, or you can pull something into reserve or put something out, so you can kind of play mind games. And it's a little Eldari, but it's I can see that fucking with
as
people.
long as it's not a fly.
Like you've got a big transport, right? So if you can all of a sudden whip that out of reserve or put it in, that might make they deploy all over
bringing
here,
out
and then
of
you're
reserve-
you're
I
fucking
think
with
bringing out of reserve would be pretty strong because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have to like deploy with like the fire lane of that in mind. Then you're like, yeah, it's coming out of reserve. It's going over there where you don't have any heavy weapons. Like,
Well, especially
Oh,
for
fuck.
the first one where it's you
Oh,
got a
fuck,
big deployment
right.
zone, right? It's easy to go deny deployment, and all of a sudden be like, oh shit, no, but we're
Yeah.
here. Like,
so that can be pretty mean.
we should probably wrap it up. It's getting late, but thank you for watching. Very much thank you to Matt and Jeremy for stopping by. Good practice game. I'm sure you guys learned a lot of stuff. Yeah.
It's better than losing the tournament to that.
The deadline's closing in on their list, so it's kind of the last opportunity to do some final tweaks. If
Is it
there's
tomorrow midnight? You said?
yeah, tomorrow midnight's fine. If there's mistakes, like you forgot something, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it might have changed.
Yeah,
I'm
we-
pretty happy with mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I would change in yours. The only mistake you made was maybe not assaulting there, like we discussed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
That was pretty much it.
Getting that assault squad out earlier and like clearing me out.
I think an assault made earlier is generally better, even if it's dicier, just because again it's that extra amount of time to do stuff. It's just bleeding time.
Well, I would also split targets as well, just
Yeah.
in case.
I can see that.
So, I mean,
Focusing more is better, like being sure that that one unit is dead or those 2 units. So when you moved your units together there, it was like awesome because I can try to multiple assault, everything's close together.
It's the bane of flexibility
like,
because if you're
try
not
to wipe
sure,
out,
if you have choices and it's flexible, but it doesn't really give you an idea what you're doing with the unit, it can be detrimental.
Like I wanted to save my combi melter for the Rhino, but
Yeah.
I was afraid I was gonna fail that like 5-inch charge with my
and
guys.
then,
I was like,
or like,
And that's what killed him.
Or
Right?
like-
You fucking one
or
shot.
Overwatch, like
yeah, I get
kill
overwatched
him,
to
like
death or something. So I was like, even though he might have made that 5+ save, I was like, I need that extra
Yeah.
because I can't. It's a gamble. And I need to reduce the risk as much as possible.
Does anyone have any shoutouts to do or hello to anybody?
shout
Or
out to my commission painting service, selling
which you
out-
have not named yet.
Once again, nameless for now, but the pictures are all the proof you need to know that it's amazing.
Clearly
so,
classic comedy.
hit me up, DACA or Bolter Machine Sword or Ottawa Gamer Forum.
Thank you for watching, Internet. Bye-bye.
Gods of war.
May your hammer be mighty.